Alright, so I wanted to wait a little bit before making this video because both the Maple Leafs and the Oilers had been playing games up until this point, and now both of those games have concluded, which gives us an opportunity to talk about how ridiculous everything in the NHL is going towards when it comes to these names. Today we are talking about the NHL's 3 stars of the week and using this as another opportunity to talk about these recently concluded Leafs and Oilers games as well as talk about the guys at hand. So, it was announced earlier today that Auston Matthews, Connor McDavid, and Matthew Tkachuk have been named the 3 stars of the week from February 12th to February 18th. Now, if you go over and read the write-up over here, it talks about how each of these guys went out there with their points, but of course it's also included in the graphic. Auston Matthews had 6 goals and 2 assists for 8 total points in 3 games. Connor McDavid had 10 assists in 3 games, and Matthew Tkachuk had 3 goals and 5 assists in 3 games. Now, you could say, wait a minute, McDavid had more points. What's going on here? Why is he not number 1? Well, Auston Matthews is number 1 because he registered 2 straight hat tricks, and this leads the NHL with 6 total goals to lift the Maple Leafs into 3rd place in the Atlantic Division via a perfect week. Matthews, who was held off the score sheet in a 4-1 victory against the St. Louis Blues on February 13th, potted his first career natural hat trick and 5th 3-goal performance of the year in a 4-3 overtime win versus the Philadelphia Flyers on February 15th. He then registered a hat-trick in consecutive contests for the 2nd time this year. He also did that at the beginning of the season, 6 goals in 2 games played, setting a career high with 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points in a 9-2 triumph over the Anaheim Ducks February 17th. Matthews became the 5th player in league history to post hat-tricks in consecutive games multiple times in 1 year, joining Wayne Gretzky, Mike Bossy, Joe Malone, and Reg Noble. Yeah, by the way, So Wayne Gretzky, of course, he is the GOAT. Mike Bossy was one of the only guys that I feel could really ever challenge Wayne when it came to goal production. It's just Mike didn't have the proper health to allow him to do that. If he was healthy his entire career like Wayne was, there's no doubt in many people's minds that Mike Bossy would have been up there in terms of the overall goal numbers. And then Joe Malone, Reg Noble, these guys played 100 years ago. Malone's the guy who set the record for most goals in a game. He did 7 once, and yeah, nobody that was alive then is alive now, but you can still kind of see how much of a legendary record this is. Hat tricks in consecutive games multiple times in 1 year. What a specific stat, but still one that is incredibly difficult to accomplish. Matthews also set the franchise record and became the 10th different player in NHL history with at least 6 hat tricks in a single season. He is the first since Mario Lemieux in 1995-1996. The 26-year-old Matthews, who already owns 2 Maurice Rocket Richard trophies, paces the league with 48 goals and 9 more than the next closest player through 52 total games this season. The 2024 All-Star Game MVP also ranks among 2023-2024 leaders in power play goals, shots on goal, shooting percentage, and points. He is one of the top guys in each of these categories. Now, when it comes to Matthews' game today against the St. Louis Blues, he did not continue with another hat trick, but he did score his 49th goal of the year. He had a goal and an assist in this one. So he is now at 49 goals in 53 games played. Matthews, if he goes out there and gets a goal in his next game, he'll break 50 in 54, which is kind of remarkable considering the fact that it's literally just 4 games removed from that 50 in 50 landmark that everybody likes to talk about. Now, we know that Matthews technically has a 50-goal and 50-game campaign. It's just not official because he did so in his own personal 50 games and not within the 50 games of the team that he played for. It's very different, but you can say that he technically did it, just not in the official way. So, doing this and getting 49 goals in 53 games certainly is good too. And, I mean, look, just the numbers right here. 3 goals, 1 goal. Such a clutch scorer. 7 goals in his last 3 games. And that's not even the only time he had the back-to-back hat tricks kicking off the year with the same stat line. But if you go over to the second star of the week, and we also talk about how ridiculous things have gotten for Connor McDavid, hey, there's an entire write-up about him too. McDavid topped the NHL with 10 assists in 3 contests to propel the Oilers to a pair of wins. He set a career high with 6 assists, one shy of the single-game league record in an 8-4 victory against the Red Wings February 13th. Now, I'm actually kind of interested. What is the single-season game league record? Okay, Wayne Gretzky and Billy Taylor Sr. did 7 assists in a game. Gretzky did it 3 times. And then this 6 list, there's a lot of players who had gotten 6 assists in a game. Connor McDavid just happens to be one of them now. Pretty much putting himself in the record books, eh? That's a pretty good stat, isn't it? McDavid became the second NHL player to post 6 assists in a game this season, following Chris Letang, who did so on December 27th, and just the second Oilers player to do so since the 80s. Also, Leon Draisaitl did that in Ottawa. In the process, McDavid became the 4th fastest player in league history to reach the 600 assist milestone, behind only Gretzky, Lemieux, and Orr. Good names. Very, very good names. My goodness. Just 8 games behind Bobby Orr. That's incredible. McDavid added 3 helpers, his 8th 3-assist performance of the season in a 6-3 loss against the St. Louis Blues, February 15th, before collecting 1 apple in a 4-3 overtime win versus the Dallas Stars February 17th. The 27-year-old McDavid paces the NHL with 60 assists through 49 total games in 23-24, the 8th straight season he has reached the 60-assist mark. He also sits among the 2023-4 leaders in points. He's 3rd. Power play assists, he's tied for 4th. Plus minus, he is 8th. And power play points, he is tied for 9th. My goodness, Connor McDavid has been very, very good. And even today, I mean, the Oilers played off against the Coyotes, and they just exploded for a bunch of goals in that third period. I had this game on in the background whilst I was making the other videos, but Connor McDavid did find himself on the score sheet multiple times. He had 2 assists in this one. Leon Draisaitl carried the load with a goal and 3 assists. And if you check out McDavid's game log, I mean, all the points speak for themselves, don't they? 6 assists, 3 assists, 1 assist, and then, of course, today he had 2 assists again. Connor McDavid has woken up, and he is out of his slump from the beginning of the year. And if you check out the final star of the week, it is indeed that Matthew Tkachuk, who is listed there at the bottom. He placed 3rd in the NHL with 8 points in 3 games to help the Panthers into 1st place in the Atlantic Division and Eastern Conference via a 5-game winning streak dating back to February 8th. He registered a goal and 2 assists for 3 points in a 5-3 triumph against the Pittsburgh Penguins February 14th, and then picked up 1 assist in a 4-0 victory over the Sabres February 15th. Tkachuk capped the week with 2 goals and 2 assists, his 3rd 4-point performance of the season, all since the start of 2024, in a 9-2 win versus the Lightning February 17th. The 26-year-old Matthew Tkachuk, who has compiled 13 points during an active 5-game point streak, ranks among the top 15 this season in power play assists, shots on goal, and points through 55 total games this year. He also leads the NHL with 37 points in 19 outings since the start of the calendar year, 4 more points than the next closest player. So that actually is a point that I don't think many people have been bringing up too much. Matthew Tkachuk does lead the league in points ever since the turn of the calendar. Nathan MacKinnon and Kucherov are second, but they've got 33. McDavid also is in that conversation, not to mention Elias Pettersson, David Pastrnak, Auston Matthews, JT Miller is in here too. So for Matthew Tkachuk to get this amount of points in this amount of games played, literally leading the league, hey, there's a reason he was named the 3rd star of the week here. He's been doing fantastic work ever since the slump to kick off his year. He's on pace now for 96 points, which, if he improves upon that point production just a little bit more, he'll probably get to 100 for the 3rd time in a row, which definitely defeats all of the naysayers who were clowning on this guy because of how he kicked off his 23-24, which wasn't good. He was great with Calgary, he was great with Florida last year, but at the beginning of the season, he was recovering from all those injuries in the finals. He was not off to a hot start. So now, Matthew Tkachuk, just like McDavid, is telling us all that he is pretty much as good as he always was. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the 3 stars of the week being handed out to Auston Matthews, Connor McDavid, and Matthew Tkachuk. These are some ridiculous talents going out there and scoring some ridiculous numbers. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.